Dabai Namuna. Morning through. Good morning, everyone. Let me join Richard and Frank in welcoming all of you this morning. And it is indeed an honor and a privilege to be your first speaker in our investment week. And I do hope that you have an enjoyable time. This morning, as Frank reiterated, we've got regulators on hand. We are here to talk to you and to listen to you. What I'm going to be presenting to you is just a bit of an overview on what's coming ahead. I will not zoom in specifically on the investment opportunities, but to let you know that the Investment Promotion Authority has a booth, and I've got officers at the booth. If you have any issues or you wish to explore opportunities, please come by the booth and talk to us there. Or talk to the PNG core team if you would like a one-on-one meeting with my team. So this morning I was going to just cover these few points, tell you a little bit about the importance of the business-ready regulatory space. I'll touch a little bit on the digitization regime that the government is pursuing, but I won't go deep into detail because, as you heard, we will be hearing from the Secretary for Information and Communication Technology. I'd like to stress to the business community a little bit about compliance, the importance of compliance, and I'll give you some deadlines which you have to go by. And then I'll give you a snapshot on what is happening in terms of investment in PNG, in terms of the foreign direct investment. As you're aware, we've been running a new online registry system. Come the end of this month, the system will have been running for the first 12 months. And we will be interested to hear from you if you are going through any issues with the online registry system. So I think we're fairly aware of the ease of doing business, the World Bank ease of doing business report that used to be done in the past. This is the report that carries or measures certain perimeters within which businesses operate, from starting a business to obtaining business permits and licenses, right on to the insolvency stage and then closing up. For those of you who are not aware, the ease of doing business has been done away with now for the last 3 years, but there is in each place there is a business ready. It's the same report that basically covers the same parameters from the ease of doing business. The first report was launched this year, which covered the first 60 countries in the world. For PNG, we will be covered in the second report, which comes out in September next year. So that will tell us exactly where we are at in terms of regulatory services that are provided. You have on the chart there the different sections that they look at. For instance, from the IPA perspective, where it starts right here, that's the business entry. That is the registration process that we run. And I'm happy to say that we have an online registry system that is available 24/7 and at your convenience as long as you have internet connectivity. Other areas that will be looked at are the location, the business, the utility services, your water, your power, and of course, it's an area that we're struggling in, but the government is having a lot of efforts been concentrated there. In terms of labor, how easy to hire people, financial services, international trade, taxation, dispute resolution, marketing, and of course I spoke a little bit about the business insolvency. So these are the new parameters that are covered in the business ready report. So when you do get the survey forms, which some of you I believe would have been receiving already, I urge you to complete the survey forms for our interest. We talk a lot about the efficiency, and of course for business community, this is an important aspect. From the government perspective, government agencies are coming together. We are addressing the efficiencies. We are harnessing ICT, as you will hear in the afternoon. We are doing all we can in terms of providing the services that is deserving of businesses in terms of efficiencies. We understand that efficiencies add to savings in your business costs, thus the ease of doing business. And of course, we are trying our best to improve the corporate governance space. I won't go through this chart. We will hear from my colleague, Commissioner Customs, and of course, the ICT. They will cover this in detail, but this is a major project that government is working on in terms of trying to bring together all government services at a central point which will be accessible to businesses. So I will let David and Secretary Stephen cover that in detail for us today. We've been doing a bit of work, as I've been mentioning in a number of conferences. As you are aware, we've reviewed all the legislations that fall within the jurisdictions of the IPA. All have been approved and endorsed, and thank you to the government for that. At the moment, there's a piece of legislation that we're still working on. The law has been passed, and that is the new Associations and Corporations Act of 2023, which replaces the Associations and Corporations Act of 1966. That is the last piece of legislation within the IPA that we are reviewing, and that is mainly to do with non-profit organizations, charity organizations. One of the key changes in that respect is that in the old act, you could just come and register your association, and you can go and do whatever you want. There was no need for reporting. There was no interest in noting where your funds were coming from, where it's going, how you're spending it. Accountability to your membership was not there. In the new law, there is now some reporting requirements that we're instituting. There is some reporting for you to declare where the funds are coming from, how you're using it, and you need to report that to your membership. And at the same time, provide to the Register of Companies an annual report, an annual return, similar to what you currently do with the company returns. So that will come as we speak. We are working on the regulations. Once that comes on board, thank you to those companies who have complied with the re-registration exercise. And let me also state here that the IPA has been kind enough to give you a further extension till the end of this month. And if you go onto the IPA website, there is a list of companies who are currently non-compliant. The opportunity is there for you to comply. You can see my staff at the booth, or you can contact us to assist you go through that process. By the end of this month, what happens if you do not comply? Then your business, your company name will be struck off the register. And as a consequence, when you come back later on, you will have to meet and pay the necessary, the applicable penalties. So please, I urge companies to come and see us, talk to us, send us an email, call us, and we can work with you in that space. Compliance and enforcement is, the government is now working on a coordinated manner. As we speak, the teams have been going out to some provinces to carry out inspection. There's close collaboration between the IPA, the IRC, immigration, the police, ICCC, to ensure that businesses are doing what they're supposed to do within the confines of the government regulations. That's part of what I mentioned earlier. We are signing MOUs with agencies and other institutions, including private institutions. We are signing MOUs with provincial administrations to work together to identify opportunities at the provincial level and help to promote the provinces, attract investment into their regions and provinces. And you will see some interesting figures towards the end of my presentation that will show you where investment is going. This is some of the work that we are doing, identifying opportunities, engaging with investors, tracking the processes that are ongoing, and of course trying to coordinate an ecosystem where governments should work together to provide the necessary responses to business. And let me acknowledge, see our friends from IFC here. Thank you for helping us this year, and we look forward to continuing our relationship going forward. Okay, these are the figures that I was mentioning. Let me clarify that for the last 3 years, I have not been presenting this data because we have been undergoing this change where we updated the legislative reforms and, of course, introduced a new online registry system. As we speak, and as I said earlier, the new online registry system has now been running for 11 months, December being the 12th month, and we managed to get us some data. And what I'm presenting to you is strictly for 2024. I'm happy to say that these figures are almost near actual, because previously the data that I used to present was taken at the foreign certification point, which were basically estimates. The data I'm presenting to you now is from the annual returns that are submitted by companies, so they are almost actual. So as you can see, Australia continues to be the #1 investor in PNG, followed by Malaysia and France. If I remove Australia, then this is how the landscape looks. There's a bit of interest coming in from France. In the past, it used to be Australia, Malaysia, China, or Singapore, or Australia, China, Malaysia, Singapore in that space, but we've got some interest and a lot of interest coming in from France. And obviously, I think we can attribute it to the fact that the next LNG project is sourced from France. As to where this investment is going, as you can see, National Capital District, most of it is still landing in NCD. Again, this is interesting. Previously, it used to be Morobe on the second, but now you've got New Island. I've got to go and dig deeper into the data, into the data set to see what is happening in New Island. And then followed by some interest in Gulf. So again, if you take NCD out of the graph, and this is how the landscape looks, New Island, Morobe, Gulf, Eastern Highlands, and Western Highlands, the 5 top provinces where foreign direct investment is going into. And there you go. So, as I said, PNG is ready for investment. We are ready to receive you, assist you, work you through the processes. You'll be listening to my colleagues from the regulatory space in terms of IRC, ICA, ICCC, and Customs. We are here to talk to you. Feel free to come and see us. We've got officers at our booths. Please come and talk to us if you wish to have any points of clarification. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.